I'd hoped to have sewer line I completed, but they didn't get me all the information, so I don't. So that's the one thing that's really not on here, but, you know, because I want to tell you how good we were on the thing, so hopefully we'll be good. Dollar wise, she just put these numbers on my desk this afternoon, and I wasn't here all afternoon, so bank balances remain constant at 6.4. Remember what we're doing. We're closing one loan out, we're finalizing the other, so we're taking all the dollars on that, so, you know, we'll see the difference. I'm surprised Jeep isn't screaming saying the job's complete, we ought to start making payments. I haven't gotten that email yet, so I'm waiting on it. Carter Alley contract I sent to, right. So the contract with the bid document, you know, everything's fine. Y'all approved the bid, but now you got to approve the contract. So on, which I guess we need to let everybody else know, I won't be here next Monday because I'm having another procedure done. So we want to move the meeting to Tuesday of next week. So I would put that on a special call meeting and we would vote on that item so we can just get it out of the house. So, but Joey hadn't commented anything to me, so I can assume the contract's fine. We've got the, bid bond in. I've got a call into them because they need to verify it, but I've got all the documents, what have you, so it ought to be all good. I've got them actually sitting right there. So, liability insurance. That'll choke everybody up.
Yep.
So,
What about it? You got to have it.
well, yes, we're not. So the problem is, you know, with the claim history and what have you, you know, we've already been notified, if y'all have already seen, the current company is not going to renew. So we'd hope to have 3 competitive bids. It looks like we'll have 2. I actually have a phone meeting with them tomorrow morning, so maybe I'll know a little bit more. The idea is to bring the bids back in here by April 11th because our insurance lapses May 1st. So what do I think is going to happen? I think you're going to pay a higher premium. Budgeted $42,000 this year. Our premium last year wasn't that much. We anticipated some increase because of our claim history, which is around $225,000. So, you know, unfortunately for us, the thing I'm going to remind y'all of, so whether the way they work this out in the nicest way I can put it is, so unless you live in Tornado Alley, you know, or a hurricane prone or a flood prone area or something like that, those are all risk factors that increase. So we can't control the weather, and nor are we in an area that's prone to experience those, but obviously we did. So, you know, and that's why you have insurance, is to pay for that. But unfortunately, when you have those claims, it's the items you can control that matter. So, you know, I think they're at this point, I think they're pleased operations, what we do and what we don't do for a very small community, because we haven't any claims related to operations as much. So let's see what they say, but you're going to pay a premium. So I'll tell you a story about our friends up in Baldwin. If you remember last year, they let their insurance lapse. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. And they had Germa come in, and their premium went to $191,000, where they were paying $120,000. Now they had fire and they had police services, but so I don't know the whole story. I couldn't tell you why their premium jumped that much, and they very well may have found, Germa may have found that they were underinsured to begin with, or their claim history dictated. I don't know any of that. I just know that they should never let the policy lapse, and that. You know, it's a problem in itself. So as soon as I have something, I want to share it with you, but we've got to get together on the 11th. So finance can hear what those numbers are and what our options are. Thoughts?
Okay.
Hope it's cheap.
I think just the opposite. I think you've been getting, this is hard to say, but I think you've been getting a value that's under market.
Well, I know, I hope it's, at least we get coverage.
Well, yeah, well, I'm confident we're gonna have, believe it or not, now cyber insurance. I gotta fill out a whole nother thing. That's why we're having a meeting tomorrow. So they limit your coverage in cyber insurance anyway. They may have some expectations on us, which are fine. They'll serve us if they do. But let's see what those are. And then, other than that, I think we'll have 2 bids, how competitive they'll be. You won't be paying $42,000 a year again. And you didn't pay that last year. That's exciting to talk about, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cell phone. Good gracious. So we told y'all that we were offered. $25 a line, free phones. Well, we worked on this, waiting for the phones to come. They never came. Let's see if this is any sort of order. So we finally got, I'll cut to the chase on the thing. So we finally realized that they would not offer that because we're not a residential customer. Well, I pointed out to them and what they have online, that's available to us here. But anyway, they will only offer us commercial or governmental rates. So I've got it right here in front of me. And just so you'll know, when we have to deal with an individual, when I went to Verizon and I talked to them, I gave them our existing account numbers, told them we were upgrading our existing 5 phones and adding 5 phones. There was not a problem. And the next thing you know, they told us that we had a credit issue. Well, it wasn't a credit issue. They could not open our account because they have a select individual who oversees it. Well, it took 2 weeks to find that out. His name is Joey Baxton. Anyway, I wrote to him because he and I talked and had lengthy conversations about them not honoring, because I sent him pictures of what was on their website. For clarification, would you acknowledge that the unlimited $25 per line plan is not available for governments and commercials for the 10 phones for the city, so we can address the plans that are available? I love to nail down this blah, blah, blah. Correct. That is not available. Most customers go to the public safety unlimited plans for $39.99. Well, I wrote back, this is under their business unlimited smartphone, that 5 or lines or more are $30 a month. He won't offer that. You'll have to buy the other 5 phones, which I said, showed to him, was not true, because you can get an Apple SE for free according to their commercial accounts, but what they're offering to us is $39 a month. So I've let it sit until we could sit and talk tonight. Because obviously that is a significant change from what they had told us and what they're doing now.
So it went from 25 to 39?
$39.99, I believe, is the amount.
Roughly.
Yep, 40 bucks.
Yeah, 25.
$15. Went up $15 a phone. Now, just to let you know, there would be some savings for the existing 5 phones that we have in the system of about $10 a phone, so that's $50 a month. I wouldn't get too excited about that. Now, what does AT&T offer? Because I got frustrated with Verizon. No better. No better, and the coverage is bad. So for us, we have to have Verizon at the plant because we bring it in the air up there. We also have fiber now, but we got to be able to communicate with all our systems out in the field, and Verizon's got the better coverage. But at least you'd save $10 a month for those 5 phones, but obviously you're gonna be paying $80 more a month based on what they originally offered.
You want my phone back?
Well, yours is one of the 5.
I know.
Well, let me ask you this. Not understood him again, why that, Councilman Renita phone from the city.
That's not on me, that's on y'all. That wasn't my recommendation. I mean, it was brought up amongst y'all, so you went back and forth, and I told you it's $25 a month.
I really don't care for it myself.
I think,
Do away with it.
I think we should just drop it at that and upgrade the one you got now.
Well, I think, and I'm speaking out loud here, that there was an interest in that way you control your emails that would come only to your phones. You wouldn't have to worry about it. So that way, if you had to pull the information
That was
to come
chip
off of
shot.
one device versus the, well, that's what I'm saying. I think that was part of the argument, and I don't disagree with that, but I think in fairness, it's up to y'all. We still want to change the 5 phones regardless. Why don't we do this? Why don't we bring it up at the work session?
bring it up.
We'll tell everybody what,
Let the whole
and then we'll get a concession of what everybody
Let
wants.
the whole council,
Decide.
Yep. Well, good. Painful, but good.
Share the pain.
All right, so you heard that we're gonna put the bid document out
The
for the water
current, the
tank.
prices stay current that we have now, of the phones we have now?
Yes, because I hadn't changed anything
Okay.
yet.
I just want to make sure,
Yep, so, but I want to change them.
yeah.
I mean,
But I want to make sure they won't jack up the other prices.
no, 5 or more phones, of course, they're hardly honoring that, but
Yeah.
that's the deal.
Okay.
And, they pointed out that we're very small and all this, and this guy has 2,400 accounts, and none of that matters to me. I don't think he's been at least responsive to some extent. All right, so you heard that we're gonna put the water tank out for bids, and then we'll compare that with the maintenance agreement that y'all had already seen. And, I have no idea what that will be. And then you heard the discussion, I guess, some of y'all about Chattahoochee and the Carter Street culvert replacement. So, fortunately, that's one of those, we have found deficiencies, certainly on the Carter Street side. And, that needs to be corrected because not only we're having an issue with the size of the pipe and what the pipe is. So, same thing, that will be where we'll come back to y'all, if you remember the dollar amount that would pay for the survey and the original design of $54,000. Let's see where that goes. So we'll put that on the agenda for approval. You heard some of the discussion about the Christmas decorations and the additions. So, what's been proposed is twofold, in that we established a dollar amount for maybe upgrading some of the old Christmas decorations we have and capitalize that as a capital expense for the budget for this year, as well as promoting the idea that y'all would have a set amount that would go towards that annually instead of, 2 or 3 years gone without doing anything, going from there. So let's see what those proposals to upgrade the ones we have right now, but I'll show you the catalogs and what have you. It's all about how much detail everyone has. You can have one like the train that we have down there. It says City of Lula on it. Well, imagine that's rather expensive, but it's a one-time cost that gives you a benefit. Some would argue is 5 weeks enough. I think it's
Sure is pretty.
sure is pretty. It certainly sets the tone. You heard some of the discussion about the banners idea, same thing, it would capitalize that. And, those are the type of things that make people realize this is a great community to live in, and, they can be proud of it and their participation. And so those are both very similar. You heard the discussion about TSPLOST, that we'd get $1.9 million if the referendum was passed. We'll have an IGA that we'll bring back to you as soon as I get that. And I say this to all y'all. I think this is the right thing to do. The city approves an IGA, assuming the referendum is passed by the taxpayers. They're the ones. But once we approve the IGA, you can certainly express your views. I don't know if we want to call it fairness, but a participation, because it concerns me, as you've heard me say, the dollars we're going to spend over the next 5 years, and still we're not seeing those dollars spent in North Hall. And I speak North Hall as overall. So that being said, I do appreciate our county commissioner, Greg Poole, has come and talked to me on a number of occasions about this, and he's the one who's earmarked the 20 million with the idea that we could get 20 million from the TSPLOST if it passes, and hopefully get some dollars from DOT for a similar match. And so to his credit, I want y'all to keep working on that relationship.
Greg's a good guy.
He is. You know, he's went out of his way to come and talk to us, and you know, so we should go out of our way to keep communicating with him. And I think that'll be a you know, a good relationship. So the Fifth Street pump station, salvaging all that equipment. I got a price from another city for $5 grand. Sold. So, and the sooner they pick it up, the better. Budget development process. So this month I play with all the numbers. The idea is that hopefully, let's get some of these nightmare numbers out of the way, like liability insurance, those type of things, and we'll be able to put a better number to those. But the idea is come the 1st of May, y'all will see those numbers and begin to influence the dollar amounts. I always remind everybody that I stay away from salaries, increases, and that sort of thing. The only difference, I'll say this up front, is Human Resources, as you've heard, wants to revisit what we pay personal leave versus sick leave versus vacation time. And you'll see those numbers, but that'll be a number that will change and influence, you know, the dollar amount of the budget. We're not talking about salary increases. Those will be items that you'll give me those numbers and I'll eventually punch in. Unless Garnet wants to leave us a blank check. Get your haircut. I did
He
too.
got about better plans, he can do that. He got about better plans. He can.
Yeah, then.
I did too. Didn't whack me. All right, what questions might you have of me?
What's next?
That's it on that one, brother. I bet we got a lot to talk about when it comes to liability insurance and the budget development.
Pray we will.
Like I said, I have no idea what the tank thing will cost, but, you know. We'll find out soon enough, I guess. Soon enough.
Gotta have it.